Hey everyone, TJ here with a new video. This time we're talking D4, but on D3, just like we did for the accessibility video. Now, here's the problem. You know, being blind or visually impaired, accessibility only goes so far. So how do you actually play Diablo 4 as a blind person? So, since the game's not out yet entirely, we have just about like 8 days left or something like that. I will do my best to describe the controls and how you actually play the game. So, the most basic aspect of any ARPG on console, at least, is I'm going to go into this little area here so I don't mess nothing up. You have X as your basic attack, or A on Xbox, square, triangle, circle, all these buttons are at different things. So on Diablo 4, when you make a character, depending on the class you pick, barbarian, druid, sorcerer, whatever, there'll be a different base skill, right? From base skill, you can start unlocking skill points to buy skills and apply them to your bar. Your bar, on console at least, is your X, square, triangle, right trigger, right bumper. Those are your 5 slots. And I believe there's a 6th, I don't remember exactly. But your circle is supposed to be a dodge. So it's just natively a dodge button built into Diablo 4. So the basic idea is, let's say you're a barbarian, your default is just a swing, you're swinging at people. And then say your square, when you have enough, when you put a point into something, your square will be, for this case it's jumping, a leap, which is a mobility skill. I jump in the air and slam down, and it does, for this version, it lets me bypass terrain, and it gives me armor when I land. So there's bonuses and benefits to each. So excuse me, sorry, what you're looking for as far as like fighting and like navigation, generally speaking, almost anything you do will do damage unless it is specifically a buff, right? So let's say my triangle is a stomp. It doesn't really do damage to an enemy. What it does is it stuns them, and it stuns them and gives me a bit of my resource bar, my fury bar. My square is a mobility skill, so I can leap through things, jump around things, but it also gives me armor when I land, so it's a defensive skill. That stomp will be defensive and offensive depending on your build. My shout, my circle is a shout. This gives me armor, or not armor, but it makes enemies do less damage. So basically the idea is my rotation is leap into battle with square, stun everything with triangle, get my 2 shouts up so I can do more damage, and then dump it all into my big boy hammer swings. That's the basic idea of how a build can work. Of course, Diablo 4 being different, it will be completely different. So, like, for example, my Hammer of the Ancients here. Basically, you summon a big old hammer and it smashes it down, right? So it does some damage. It can, I think, hit 1 or 2 people. But if I have this in Diablo 4, this will be a legendary. You have to find, you have to go to a dungeon, clear the dungeon. You get this legendary affix you can place on any piece of gear you want. And in Diablo 3, it's just a rune where you pick it and it's there. But this first rune, it's a shockwave. So when I slam with the hammer, there's a shockwave cone around, or like in front of me, basically, instead of just one single target. But in Diablo 4, that's a legendary, right? Whereas like if I pick Hammer of the Ancients in Diablo 4, it does such a amount of damage, costs this much resource, and then the nodes. So sorry. The basics for the skills in Diablo 4 are thus: you have a set amount of core skills, basic skills, defensive skills, and passive skills. Like you have a whole fairly extensive tree for active skills and passive skills for every class. And you basically use your points to unlock pathways to other skills. So it's literally like a tree, like branches, and you have to kind of realize, okay, I have to buy these to get access to this. So the as far as like playing blind for Diablo 4, sorry, I'm scratching I got a sunburn, Richie. So you understand your right side of the controller. What does your left side do? Well, your left side, left stick movement. Move left, move right. Your D-pad in the game, up on the D-pad was your emote wheel, so like different like emotes and social interaction things. Down on the D-pad was a town portal. When you have access to town portals, you can go back to town, the nearest town, and then you can like do whatever resources management, crafting, upgrading, whatever. I don't remember what left and right D-pad do. Your touchpad in Diablo 4 is what will bring up the what is it? I think touchpad brings up like your menu for like settings. Sorry again. Brings up like settings and the I'm like losing my train of thought here. Settings and like your map and like your clan statuses, your quests. So like all your that type of inventory map, it does all that, right? Your options button is what brings you to your gear/skills pages, and that's like your main thing you need to understand. Your left shoulder button or bumper, I guess, or L1 was a healing potion, which are not unlimited. You have to manually find healing potions, but they drop regularly enough, so it's not a big deal. I think your L2 was your 6th skill you can put on your bar. I think. I might be wrong, honestly. I don't remember exactly. Clicking left stick and right stick, I don't remember if they did anything. And sorry again. I believe that's it as far as like the actual controls. The best way to think of Diablo's movement is in lateral directions, or not lateral, is it lateral? Northeast, southwest. That's the best way to think about like direction. Like if you're playing with people who are like, hey, let's coordinate, let's party up. All right, hey, we're all heading northeast. Hey, there's a door to the southeast. Hey, we got an elite up here to the northwest. Like that type of idea, right? So in case anyone plays with friends or groups up, there you go. The actual navigation for a blind person is pretty simple. I was able to navigate just fine on my own without any help pretty much at all, honestly, on all the betas. In fact, it was the point where the TTS reads so much that I was able to track Blind Believer around and follow his footsteps when he was close enough. But if it was too far, then I'd be able to find him through the TTS and follow him. Like, okay, he's heading east. Okay, let's do it that way. So the actual like gameplay, like how does a blind person understand? So the TTS will read to you when you're targeting different enemies. Like it'll tell the name, like wolf, bear, whatever, and it'll tell you if it's like when you get into certain encounters where it'll be like elites and minions and stuff, it will tell you who's the elite, who's the captain, who's the minion. I'm just having trouble apparently today. Sorry about that. As far as boss, I don't know if it says anything like boss or anything, but it does like call out minions and elites. So that's a nice little touch. Trying to think what else there is. As far as like blind specific stuff, I really can't think of anything because it's been a minute since I played Diablo 4, so like remembering all these details is a little tricky. But you do have the option to remap your controls if you feel like, remap your skill layouts. There's a whole bunch of accessibility stuff if you're low vision as well, or hard of hearing. Motor impaired. Sorry again, motor impaired. Jeez, I'm tired apparently. Trying to think. Really failing at thinking. One thing I'd recommend not to get too hung up on is thinking because better item power or better whatever it's better weapon like or armor. It's not necessarily 1-to-1. Ooh, better item power, better armor. No, that's not how that works because there's more nuance than that. In Diablo 4, you have to worry about your affixes on your gear, such as let's say you have a legendary sword that does, I don't know, whirlwind pulls in enemies close to you, and it has like plus such and such damage, plus this, plus that. Has 3 affixes plus legendary power, alright? That's theoretically. Well, what if we had a rare then 5 affixes, and you could take that legendary power and put on that rare? So that there's like pros and cons to understanding like what gear you want to keep and what you want to throw away. But as far as like a blind player is concerned, like if you're just brand new, don't think too much on it. If the stats sound like they're better stats to you, then go for it. If they feel like they might be not worth the the effort, then don't go for it. It's that simple. As far as like recommending what classes to go for if you're blind to familiarize and like get started, I'd probably recommend Sorcerer, because the Sorcerer is probably gonna be the best class in the game, just right out of the gate. Plus, because their range, you don't have to worry about like trying to avoid attacks and like dodge like all the melee troubles, right? You just stand far away and throw stuff at people. Anyway, sorry about that. I think Barbarian, or like all the classes can be good, no, obviously, but I do think the Sorc might be the easiest for a blind person who's never played an RPG or an ARPG to get into it. So, thankfully, because of crossplay and all that stuff being a thing now in Diablo 4, if we make a blind clan, we can all coordinate. My hope is that, one, I can do whatever solo crap I want to do, and like have endgame material and whatever, right? Do my traditional, try and do something no other blind people will do, or very few do, and then post bad, right? Do my normal attempt at flexing things. And then the other thing I really hope we can do is get enough of a group together to run a full blind party. Clear dungeons by ourselves. Maybe, help, maybe get 12 people and like all of us kill a Shava or whatever world boss. Even beat the campaign. Like I honestly feel Diablo 4's accessibility and ease of use is such enough to where we could do a lot in the game and demonstrate, like, look, this is what ARPGs have the potential to be. Imagine Path of Exile with GTS like Diablo 4. Not that it would help, because Path of Exile, you need like half a semester of college to understand it. But anyway, hope you guys kind of found this a little entertaining. Probably not, because of the yawning and nasty sounds. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, goodbye.